Did you really think that they were going to go out like that, 9-0 after game one? Born for sports, the New York Mets today with a big win tonight, beating the Dodgers 7-3 to tie up the NLCS. Man, what a game it was for the Mets. They came out smoking in the beginning and did enough to hold on to win the game. We're going to get to that in a minute. First, before I begin, I just want to say for those who are passing through and are not familiar with this channel, I ask that you like and subscribe to Born for Sports. Listen, we're going to talk about this really good Mets win tonight and a huge series win tonight. Let's get to the chat right now. As I see Josh, what's goody, bro? Let's go Mets, baby. Huge win tonight. Huge win tonight, man. Huge win. You know, the Mets, after losing that game one, the way they lost, 9-0, you know, there's a lot of reasons why it happened. You know, there's a lot of reasons why it happened. The number one reason I would say would probably be just I would say, in my opinion, too many days off after being clicking on all cylinders, the West Coast trip, you know, the time change and everything. And you know what? Flat out, they just had a lot. They just had a lot of rust in that game one yesterday. And, you know, it steamrolled. Senga just didn't give them a chance yesterday. But tonight, those New York Mets, they answered the bell tonight. They answered the bell tonight. And let's talk about this game, man. And we'll talk about in a minute the significance of this win. But let's talk about the game itself. I thought Francisco Lindor's leadoff home run set the tone. This man, I mean, I don't know how many times I got to tell everybody, man, that this man is the MVP. I don't care what anyone says. Ohtani is a great player. We know that. We know that. No one means more to their team in this league this year than Francisco Lindor. And once again, he showed why he is the MVP of the league to me this year. Okay? Leads off the game with a leadoff home run. Good at bat, tough at bat. Okay? And then what happens? He fouls a ball off his leg. Okay? Shakes it off. And the very next pitch, boom, 1-0 New York. That's why he is the MVP of this team. And I thought today was an important, very important moment because we had to get off to a quick start. They went with a bullpen game. The Dodgers went with a bullpen game today. And their strength lately has been their pitching. They had a big scoreless inning streak in the playoffs. The last 3 games, they haven't given up a run. And they went with a bullpen game. And I thought jumping out early and fast, getting a lead, getting the goodbyes back up after getting that nasty taste out of their mouth for that game last night was huge. And Francisco Lindor made sure to do that tonight. He set the tone. He set the tone, man. You know what I'm saying? And that was huge. That was huge. You got the Mets going. Yep, Senga got put in an unfair spot. I agree, man. I agree. You know, you're talking about a guy that has not pitched most of the season. And they bring him back for the playoffs. Clearly, in my opinion, he doesn't look like himself. You know, he got away with that against the Phillies in those 2 innings he threw in that game against the Phillies. But this is a different animal with this lineup, the Dodgers. They're a patient lineup. They don't chase pitches like the Philly hitters do. The Phillies got a really good lineup, but they can be pitched to. This Dodger lineup, they got 3 freaking MVPs in their lineup, okay? And their approach at the plate is always they're going to make you work. And it was just a terrible matchup. Senga didn't even give us a chance. It was 3-0 before the first inning was over. Yep, that was so needed, especially after yesterday. No doubt about it. No doubt about it, man. You know? And I just thought that was a huge play for Lindor to get the party going. Lindor's home run was huge. It got the team morale up, and it just, you could feel it. It just lifted that weight off the shoulders of the team. Like, okay, we belong. We're gonna fight today. Last night happened. It was last night. We're here to play today, and we know the significance of this game. And I'm telling you right now, biggest hit of the game obviously was the Vientos grand slam. Correa 2.0. Young Vientos, who I have said for months, reminds me of a young Carlos Correa. And this kid is having a postseason to remember. Let's be honest. This guy has been getting clutch hits after clutch hits for this team. He has been tearing the cover off the ball in this postseason. Okay? And that was a huge hit. And when he hit that grand slam, you could tell it was going to be the Mets' day tonight. You knew right there. Good at bat, fourth the count 3-2, and he put a charge into that ball and a huge home run. And it was 6-0. And all of a sudden, now the Dodgers felt what we felt last night. The Dodgers felt what we felt. Man, our pitching didn't even give us a chance to even work our at-bats before the first time around. It's 6-0. That's what they did to us yesterday was what we did to them today in the beginning of this game. Vientos with a huge grand slam, 6-0 lead. It just basically took the air out of the entire stadium in the Dodgers. And you could tell they were behind the 8 ball. And that's how you got to do it, man. You got to make the Dodgers have to work. Their offense is really good. They got 3 MVPs in their offensive lineup. They got good pitching for the most part. They got good pitching, okay? But when they get going and they start getting the carousel of hits together, they're tough to beat, man. They're tough to beat. But when you make them play from behind and have to catch you, that's how you got to play the Dodgers. And they did that tonight. That was a huge play and a huge grand slam in this game. Yeah, Vientos seemed live for the clutch moment, man. This guy, I'm telling you, man, this kid got it, man. He got that juice, man. And it just goes to show you how stupid Buck Showalter was last year for not playing this kid more than he did. He looks stupid about a damn day this year with the way Vientos has played. And you know what? The Mets still didn't give him his shot right away to start the season. They sent him down. When he came back up, he made the most of it and forced the Mets' hand to say, you know what? This kid can play. We got to play this guy and see where it takes us. And, man, was that the right decision? Because you can argue this year, okay? You can argue this year that after Francisco Lindor, after the great Francisco Lindor, that Mark Vientos has been the Mets' most clutch hitter this year and the Mets' most important hitter this year in this lineup. He has been probably the most consistent RBI producing player on this team, besides Francisco Lindor, of course, who's number one. He has been more consistent than Pete Alonso with runners on base this year. And I'm not even trying to kill Alonso, but this is the facts. These are the facts. This kid is developing into one of the really good young power hitters in baseball. And you know what? Your name gets known when you get it done in the clutch, and he's starting to do that now because he's having a great postseason. He's having a great postseason, man. No doubt about it. Josh says Alvarez concerns me with his plate discipline. Yeah, I agree, man. Alvarez has got to get it together. I just feel like from what I see with Alvy, and he gets into these spurts where his swing is so long all the time, man. He's trying to swing for the downs when it's unnecessary. You know, he swings so hard. You know, he kind of reminds me what Vientos was going through last year and in the beginning of the season, where he's trying to pull everything and just hit everything, hit a 5-run home every time he makes contact. In the beginning of the season, but prior to the thumb injury, it looked like Alvy figured it out. He had a lot more plate discipline. He was going the other way a lot, you know, and he was really showing that maybe he was ready to make that jump that we all think he's capable of. And then the thumb injury came. He missed all that time. He had his struggles at the plate when he came back, okay? And all of a sudden, you know, he just stopped hitting home runs. He stopped hitting home runs. He even made a comment to the press. He doesn't feel as powerful and all of that. And then all of a sudden, late in the season, he started to find that power stroke again. He started hitting some big home runs down the stretch for us, helping us win games, okay, in September. But right now, he's back in that rut again and just over swinging. Just the swing is too long. He's got to be better in situational hitting. And I wonder if Mendoza or Lindor can pull him to the side and kind of talk to him about that, because he left way too many runners on base tonight. Way too many. I mean, we could have broke this game open a long time ago. And it just seemed like, he just couldn't get the job done there. He couldn't get it done. Yeah, he was hitting over 300. I agree. He was hitting over 300. Prior to the thumb injury, it looked like Alvy was ready to make that jump that we all thought he's capable of doing. But then that thumb injury made him miss a couple of months. And when he came back, it's just been an uphill climb, an up and down uphill climb for him to get back to himself. I really feel like he just needs an offseason of rest with that thumb injury and just work on his plate discipline. He got it together late in September. He gets some big home runs and big hits down the stretch, but now he's back in that rut again. So he's got to do something about that plate discipline and better situational hitting, man. Better situational hitting. He's way too talented. He's way too talented, and he's our number 9 hitter because our lineup is so deep. But man, if we ever get this kid going in the number 9 hole, look out. Look out. Look out. We need it. But as far as the game goes, I thought Manaea was really solid tonight. Really solid tonight. And honestly, I just thought the numbers don't quite show how good he really was. He only went 5 innings today, but he only gave up 2 runs on 3 hits. And mostly because he just got a little wild at the wrong time. He got a little wild at the wrong time, and that can happen with Manaea. He's got some nasty stuff, but, every now and then he just loses command of the plate. He uses command of the strike zone. And with a Dodger lineup like this, you gotta be ready to throw strikes because they are not going to chase. They're not. You can get away with that with the Phillies' good lineup because they tend to chase. The Dodgers don't do that. They got hitters up and down the lineup. They got 3 freaking MVPs in the lineup, and they got nothing but disciplined plate players. You're going to have to pitch to them. You can't nibble. You can't do that. And when he lost command in that 6th inning, it could have got away from him. I thought they could have left him in a little longer, but Mendoza chose to go on the side of caution, which I don't blame. I don't blame him. It's a play-to-win game. And, he pitched better than his numbers did tonight. He made Ohtani look foolish all night. Let's get into that. Ohtani looked bad all night against Manaea. All night. And I just felt he did a really good job. Freddie Freeman just missed the home run, I thought, on a swing. He had the best swing of the night on Manaea, in my opinion, all night, was Freddie Freeman in his first at bat. And he flew out. But other than that, Manaea did a really good job today, keeping the hitters off balance. It's just, the plate, the discipline, the command of the strike zone got away from him in that 6th inning a little bit. He walked a couple of hitters, but he was really good. He was really good tonight. And it kind of makes you scratch your head a little bit, like, why did the Mets not start him game 1? He was on his full turn of rest. Why didn't they start him game 1? Well, I believe the reason why they didn't start him game 1 because they want him more to pitch game 6 or 7 if necessary. They want one of their best guys to be there. But I think something's got to give with Senga. I don't think you can throw him out there again. I just don't. Not against this team. Not against this team. I just don't trust it. I don't think he's ready for that. But, man, good job by Manaea tonight, getting it done. But also, I want to say the unsung heroes was Matone and Stanek. Unsung heroes tonight. They came in with a fireman. They came in and put it out. Maton had an inning in the 3rd. Let me read the numbers real quick. Okay, let me read the numbers real quick, man. Because I thought the combination of Maitan and Stanek were really clutch for this team. They really were clutch. It wasn't pretty at times. No, it was not pretty, but they got the job done at the right time. Because that inning could have got away. That inning could have got away in that 6th inning, especially Maitan. He came in and put that fire on. That was huge. And I've been on him in the last series. I was not happy with him, but he stepped up today. Maitan's numbers were, he pitched an inning in the 3rd, gave up a hit, 2 walks, but he got out of it. He didn't give up a run. He got out of it. And you got to give him credit for that. You got to give him credit for that. He gave up a hit or whatever, but you know what? And that run was ultimately, that run was charged to Mr. Manaya, but you know what? He did a good job getting out of it. And Ryan Stanek, I thought, stabilized the pen and got the ball to Edwin Diaz as far as he could. And that was a good job by him. Stanek has really impressed me in this playoff. He has really been good in high leverage situations. And I believe he should be the 8th inning guy. He should be his ERA in the playoffs has been 1.59. He went an inning in the 3rd tonight, only gave up a hit, 1 walk, 1 K. You know, he kind of ran out of gas towards the end of that 8th inning, and Diaz was able to come in and get that final out and ultimately get the 4-out save. But I thought Stanek really did a good job of, in high level situations, keeping them at bay. He really did. He really did. Josh says it reminds me a little of Travis Darnell. Yeah, with Alvarez. Travis Darnell, that old reliable guy. He was always up and down the same way. When he, young catchers, man. Young catchers, you gotta be very patient with these guys because they got a big plate. Big full plate to deal with. They got a pitcher staff to deal with, and they got to be a threat at the plate. Travis Darnell, we all know the issues he had throwing runners out at second base. He was always hurt all the time. He moves on. He gets to the Braves. All of a sudden, he's one of the best catchers in the National League. So, of course, Alvarez has a lot of similarities in that right now, what he's going through. I agree with that. That error by Iglesias screwed him. Yeah, that error. And, let's be honest, it was a tough hop. Hit the mound. But Iglesias, you got to make that play, bro. You got to make that play. And, that really hurt. And also, Pete Alonso got to make that play on that ball that went right by him, where he dived and the ball just went under his glove, went under him. So his defense kind of betrayed him in that inning, in those last couple of innings. But you know what? They got the job done when it counted. That's all you can ask for, man. I thought Iglesias had a horrible game tonight. Probably the worst game I've seen Iglesias have since coming up with the Mets. Because he's been so money. He's been so money this whole time with this team. And he has really coincided with the turnaround with this team as they have made their way into the playoffs and into the NLCS. So I'm not going to kill him. But the facts are the facts. He got to be better. He had a bad game tonight. But the Mets overcame it and got the dub. They got the dub. Nope, Kodai needs to rest up for next year. Yeah, I'm not in on that, man. I'm just not in on Kodai getting his stuff together during a playoff run. Like it seems like this is like rehab games for him. We can't have that in the playoffs. When the NLCS, these are playoff games, Mets. It just is what it is. And if you're gonna bring him in, man, you know what? Bring him in out the bullpen at least. Get him in there here and there in certain spots. But to start him in games, I'm not feeling that, man. I'm just not. I don't think it's fair to the player. Kodai Senga is a better pitcher than what he's shown these 2 starts since coming back. He's a better pitcher than this. You could see clearly he's not himself. I appreciate him trying to fight through it and contribute, but the Mets have to be smart in how they're going to use this guy. They got to be smart. It just is what it is. Because if you're not smart and not put him in the right position to succeed, you're just hurting the team. And that's not what we need. It's the NLCS, baby. We're trying to get to the series. We're trying to get to the Fall Classic, man. This is not the time for that. So if you're not gonna use him in certain situations out the pen, I don't think he should even be in the game, honestly. Honestly. And then I look and I say, who do you rather have, him or Adam Ottavino? Then I say, you know what? Let him stay. It's a tough call, man. It really is, man. It really is. But I don't think it's fair to Senga to put him in these situations. The Mets are going to have a decision to make, man. I don't think he should start the rest of the series, honestly. Not against this team. The Dodgers lineup is too good. They're not going to take that nibbling stuff and think you're gonna shut them down. It's not going to happen. Stanek has been great for the last month and change. Yes, he has, man. He has really been good. And that was the calling card with him. He's been through the high leverage playoff situations with Houston in the past, gotten ring, Tampa. This guy knows what it takes in these situations, man. And he does not have no fear. And when and what I like about him, he has no fear. He for the most part, he challenges hitters and he misses bats. He's got enough arm that he misses bats. And that's what you want in these situations, man. Honestly, I trust him more than Mayton. Mayton was awful in that Phillies series, especially what was it? What was the game we blew? Game 2 against the Phillies, or we would have swept them. We would have swept the Phillies last round. So, but let me give credit. Mayton was really good tonight. He was really good tonight, and we appreciate that. Hopefully, we get more of that. But he's not a guy that's going to miss bats. And in high leverage situations, you know, he's got to be pinpoint with his control and his command, and he's got to nibble and these type of things. He's got to do that because he doesn't miss bats. Stanek does. He comes after hitters. He's aggressive, and he misses bats. I've been very impressed with him, and I think he should be, besides Diaz, the high leverage guy at the end of the game. And when Diaz is on that BS where he ain't got it, I'm all for putting Stanek into close games if we have to. I'm all for that. All for that. You know, Diaz is our guy, no doubt about it. But, I mean, we're in the point of the season, man. If he ain't got it, he ain't got it that day. And if we got to use Stanek in them situations, let's do it. It's the way I feel. Clifford Clover, what's good? Salute. Clifford says facts. Senga can't start any more games right now. I wouldn't even bring him in the bullpen. Yeah, you know, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm for shutting him down for the season. That's what I want to do. But if they insist on using him, to me, I can't start him the rest of the postseason. I can't do that. It's not fair to the team, and it's not fair to him. And the only way I even see a path for him to come in the game is either number one at mop-up duty or in certain situations where the game's not on the line out the pen. That's it until he finds it. Because honestly, I just don't think he's healthy. I don't think he's healthy. And I think he's just trying to gut it out because he's a good teammate. He wants to be a part of this run. But the Mets have to make the right decision here. They can't put him in a situation where he can fail. It's not fair to him, and it's damn sure not fair to the team. Bullpen definitely will be better for Senga. Yeah, I think if there's a role for him, the path should be the bullpen. I'm all for shutting him down, to be honest, though. I'm all for shutting him down. But if there's a path you want to use him, I think it's got to be the bullpen, man. It makes too much sense more to do that than start him. If the guy can't go more than 2, maybe 3 innings, that's it. Let him be a bulk guy. Let him be in that Peterson type of role, but from the right-hand side. That, to me, is the only way. I'm putting him in the game at this point. I'm not going to put him in high-leverage situations out the pen. I'm not doing that. Unless I have no other choice or I ain't got nothing left or whatever. I'm not doing that. To me, the bullpen is his best path to help this team going forward this year. And if you can't do that, shut him down. Shut him down. I got a lot more confidence. I just had to catch myself because I'm really going to have to say this. And I would not have said this 3 months ago. I'll tell you that. I would not be saying this. But I got a lot more confidence in Quintana helping this team as a starter in this playoff run than Kodai Senga at this point. And it's not a knock on Kodai Senga because when he's right and when he's healthy, he is our ace and he is a good pitcher and he will definitely be helping this team. But he's not healthy. and he's not himself. And at this point, the way Quintana's pitching, I'd rather give the ball to him right now. Honestly, Mets have some decisions to make on that. I really don't see a path for him to come back in this series or the rest of the playoffs unless it's out the pen. But I want to talk about also what this win means. Obviously, it's big that we tied the series up at 1. You don't want to come back to New York down 2-0 against this Dodger team. They're good. They're a really good team. You don't want to do that, okay? But what this means now is you take home field advantage away from the Dodgers now. That's huge. And as bad as 9-0 was yesterday, as bad as 9-0 was last night, guess what? The job is done. The job got done in these first 2 games. The main objective was to leave LA with a split, going back to Queens to City. That was the main objective, and the Mets got that done today. Despite what happened last night, how flat and how off they were yesterday, it doesn't even matter anymore. Because the objective is already taken care of. We got one. You're coming into the city. Hey, listen, you want to win every game you play. 2-0, we're sitting pretty. Series not over, but 2-0, we're sitting pretty going back to Citi Field. But the objective was to get one game these next 2 days, and they got it done tonight. Now, the Mets have home field advantage now in the series now because the next 3 games are at Citi Field. They're at Citi Field. That's a big deal. And especially with the way this team looked at Citi and with that fan base.
I like you a lot.
I can't wait to see that Citi Field crowd get crazy because it's gonna be a movie. If you thought it was a movie when they played the Phillies the last 2 games when they were out there after the long layoff from being on the road for so long. NLCS, Dodgers in town.
I love it.
I can't wait to see this crowd. This is going to first of all, it's going to lift the players up. The players are going to be hyped up, okay? They're going to have that factor of energy in the stadium on their side. The Dodgers are going to feel something they haven't felt, okay? Because no disrespect to the San Diego Padres crowd, but it's still a California crowd. It's still a California crowd. San Diego fans are not like Mets fans. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. And when you see what the Mets fans are about to be, now there'll be some Dodger fans there, I'm sure. There'll be a little something there. Listen, we all know the history. Brooklyn Dodgers. Whenever the Dodgers come to town, there are Dodger fans that do come to the stadium, whether it's at Citi Field or Yankee Stadium. That's just the way it is. Their fan base started here. There's still some fans here. But Met fans, they're going to be a different animal, boy. They're going to be a different animal, and I can't wait to see it. Leave Singer as a reliever. No more starts. Yes. Shout out to you, Pops. Welcome to the show. Yes, I agree. I feel like Singer should be a reliever at this point, or at this point, if you don't trust him enough to be a reliever, then keep him off the roster. It's not fair to him with a team. He's not himself. He can't go out there and pitch more than 2-3 innings anyway. You're doing disservice to your bullpen. You're wiping out the pen. It just, to me, it doesn't make any sense unless you're going to, the only path I see is out the pen. That's it. That's it. And I can't use him in high leverage situations either. I can't do it. I just can't. Not right now. Not until he shows me that he has gotten his act together with his pitching. He needs, and the only way he's going to get it together is by getting work. So you got to make a decision. Are we really about to treat the playoffs series as his rehab starts and appearances? Or are we going to just say, you know what? Sorry, Kodai, not this year. Not this year. We'll send you to the Arizona Fall League. Maybe let him work out there. And if we get to the World Series, we'll reevaluate. Not right now. He cannot start no more games. After what I saw yesterday, can't start no more games. Can't do it. Can't do it. It's just not on the table. It's just not. Mets are going to have a decision to make there. Okay? But, man, this is a big win tonight, man. A huge win tonight because like I said, we get home field. The next 3 games are going to be at Citi Field. Okay? You got Severino going game 3. Hopefully we get the good Severino. Okay, hopefully we get the good Severino. If he can give us a gem on Wednesday night, it's going to be huge going forward. Huge. Huge. Okay? The Mets have an opportunity here, man. They got the job done this week, these first 2 games in LA. They got the job done. They're going to go back home to the crowd. They're going to go back home to that Citi Field crowd. Just a tremendous 3-game crowd for the Mets fans. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be like a movie, I'm telling y'all. And they got to ride that momentum. They got to ride that momentum. And if I'm the Met fans, if I know one thing, when I go to games, I'm going to make noise. I'm going to make noise. If I know Met fans, they're going to be on Ohtani from beginning to end. Freddie Freeman, no love lost for that guy. He's killed us for a long time. We know that. Mookie Betts, hey, he's used to New York crowds dealing with when he was with the Red Sox, but he ain't dealt with Met fans, bro. He has not dealt with a Met fan crowd looking for blood. And this Met fans crowd that we're going to see the next couple of games is going to be something to watch. I'm telling you, I can't wait to see it. And if I'm the Met fans, I'm going after everybody. Get in their heads. Taunt Ohtani. I don't even care. Go after him. Make it uncomfortable for these guys when they come in, guys. Let's go, Met Nation. Make it uncomfortable for them when they come to Citi Field. They're going to have to feel it. We got to put pressure on their backs now. Let's see if these MVPs can handle it. Let's see. Let's see if those the remaining starters in their rotation, if they can handle this. Let's see it. Let's put that pressure on them. Josh says if Sevy is rusty, he can always bring Peterson early in the game again. Yeah, absolutely. That's why this day off tomorrow is huge, because now you can bring Peterson back to be the bulk guy just in case. Absolutely. Peterson has been really good in that role, man. And I know he gave up a couple of runs yesterday, but it was his first runs he's given up the entire playoffs. He's been money for us. Money. Okay? Yeah. Let's hope Severino is on his game Wednesday. Let's hope. Because if he gives us a good start, I got to check. Let me check the pitching line for the next game. I got to see who the Dodgers are throwing out there. Let's see. Let's see who the probables are. Okay, so they're going Buehler. Buehler's been struggling. Now, we all know he's capable. I'm not here to say that he's not. He's a capable pitcher. He's a Cy Young candidate, Cy Young Award winner in the past. Okay? But coming back from injury, he's only had 16 starts. Coming back, I'm sorry. He's only been in 16 games this year. He struggled. 1-6 with a 5.38 ERA. Let's get to him. Now, his career postseason starts in 16 career games. He's 3-4 with a 3.40 ERA. Okay? And in his one start in this postseason, he got lit up. He only went 5 innings and got lit up. So, listen. The table is set. If Severino can give us a good game come Wednesday, and the Mets will have a chance to get to Buehler, who's a good pitcher. I'm not saying we can rack him up, and it's definitely he's a bum or he's trash or anything, but you got to say that the Mets are capable of getting this done. Absolutely. No doubt about it. Honestly, I would go Quintana in game 3. Then Severino starts game 4 with Peterson pitching the other half. 5 innings for Severino and Peterson the last 4 innings. It would throw Manaea in game 5. Well, I understand what you're saying there. That's a good plan as well. That is a good plan. But I think what they want to do, and I can't disagree with them with this. the way Quintana has been pitching well, he hasn't given up a run in the entire playoffs yet in his 2 starts. I think they kind of want to keep him on the same term. They don't want to move him up or back. So I think that's probably what they're thinking there. I think that's what they're thinking there, Pops. I think that's what they want to do. I think Severino pitches much better at home as well. So I think they want to keep him on his term because he got the extra rest. They want him to be home. So we'll see. But I think Minaya is capable of going game 5 regardless of, I believe. I think he is. Let me see. He pitched today, 5 days rest. Let me double check that real quick. Okay, so 4. Yeah, so they could conceivably do that if they see. I don't think that's on the table unless the Mets are down like 3-1 or something. Like if they're down and facing a must-win game, I don't think they're gonna go there. They're gonna keep him on his rest because then he would go game 6 in LA. So I think that's probably what the thinking is there. But not a bad plan. Not at all. We talked about this. That's not a bad plan at all. I wouldn't be mad if they went there at this point, especially if they're down facing elimination and going into game 5. Then I think everything's on the table, and I think that's probably what they should do. Dodgers are depleted pitching-wise, Josh says. Yes, they are. They're very much depleted. They had a lot of injuries hit them this year. A lot of injuries. And you know, they got to outslug. They got to slug. They basically have to slug, and that's how they win their games. They slug. You know, they slug and they count on their bullpen to get high leverage outs. That's what they've been doing. Well, besides Flaherty, it's been an uphill climb. That's how San Diego almost got him. That's how they almost got him. You know what I mean? So yeah, they're depleted. You got to say that the Mets have have a good opportunity here to take care of some business at Citi Field these next couple of games. They got an opportunity. Now you got to go do it. It's good to talk about it and put pen to paper, but you got to go do it. It's easier said than done. That's a good Dodgers team. Their lineup is stacked. This is why when I say, no disrespect to the greatness of Ohtani, but he's had the DH for a team all season on a stacked team already with 2 other MVPs in the lineup and a stacked team. That's why I feel like Francisco Lindor should be the MVP this year, in my opinion, because the Dodgers will be right where they're at most likely, even if Ohtani wasn't even there. You know, that's a story for another day. They're probably going to give him the award because he's done something no other player has ever done, and he's great, and they love him. No doubt about it. And like I say, he's a great, tremendous player. But in the context of the MVP award, Francisco Lindor should be the MVP. The context. You can give Ohtani the Hank Aaron Award, which is equivalent to the NFL's Offensive Player of the Year Award. Tremendous year. But there is no player in this league this season that speaks more MVP for their team than Francisco Lindor. The Mets would be nowhere near where they're at without Francisco Lindor, with all the clutch hits, with all the big hits he's had this year. You can't tell me otherwise, Tom. I'm sorry, you can't. Pop says, I would throw Minaya in game 5, especially if we are up 3-1. We don't want to go back to LA. Yeah, I can see that. I can see when you're saying there. Close them out. When you smell blood, shark in the water, you smell blood, you go eat. Finish your meal. I get that. I definitely get that. That's definitely on the table. Just don't give me Senga no more for the rest of the series. That's the way I see it. The NLCS is tougher to win than the World Series. Well, listen. I get what you're saying. Honestly, the 3 best teams in my opinion order in each. I don't even want to say in order. Have to be Dodgers, Mets, Yankees, and whatever concoction you want. Okay, to go, and then Cleveland in the bottom. The American League, the Yankees have an easier time with the Cleveland Indians than the Mets are going to have with the Dodgers, or the Dodgers are going to have with the Mets. Either vice versa. So I understand what you're saying there. I think, in my opinion, you could say whoever wins this Met-Dodgers series will definitely can win the World Series. It most likely should win the World Series. Depending on how things go, it is what it is. The Yankees are good. That's a story for another. They're a good team. But you got to be honest, they're playing – they have the easier road to get to the World Series than the Mets or the Dodgers do to get to the World Series. So I agree with you on that. No doubt about it. That's a great point. Ohtani is a DH. Yeah, he's a DH. And like I said, I am not taking nothing away from the greatness of Shohei Ohtani. He is a player we will probably never see in the rest of our lifetime again. He is what back in the early 1900s, what they said about Babe Ruth. He is that, and probably better than Babe Ruth based on what he's doing and the kind of athlete he is. He is tremendous, but it should not cloud what the award means. It shouldn't. It should not. That's not fair to any other player who plays every day. Now, if Ohtani didn't have that Tommy John issue last year, he would be pitching. Then, hey, case closed. There's no argument. There'll be none. There'll be no argument. No doubt about it. But he's not. He's been a DA. You're talking about a great player, a generational player having to only concentrate on swinging the bat 4 or 5 times all season, every game. Not playing the field, not pitching. Yeah, he's going to have 50-50 season. Of course he is. He's that great. He doesn't have to do – he has no strain or strenuous activities on his body, but he plays for a stacked team. He doesn't have that pressure on him like that. He's got a team full of 2 other MVPs who can carry the load any moment too. Francisco Lindor does not have that luxury. Francisco Lindor plays every day. And if it wasn't for him injuring his back late in the season, he would have played all 162. Tell me I'm not lying. He's did it last year. He basically did it 2 years ago for Buck in 2022. What do you have, 161? Let's be honest. Let's be honest. We can't kid ourselves here. We cannot just ignore what Francisco Lindor has meant for the New York Mets and this team. Nobody, not many. Now, I'll give credit. My pops did predict that this team could be dangerous this year, but not a lot of us did. I honestly love the lineup, and I said it many times. I love the lineup, but I wasn't in love with the pitching. We got where we're at right now. But I'm telling you right now, there's no way, no chance that the Mets will be anywhere near with this team right now without Francisco Lindor. Latin 2882. Dorian, what's goody, bro? Hey, man, if the closeout all 3 in New York, then, hey, I'm wrong. I would say Mets in 6. Well, I felt Mets in 6 from the beginning. I already picked Mets in 6 regardless. But, man, that would be sweet if we could close all 3 games out. Now, they'll probably get one. The Dodgers will probably get one because they're that good. But the Mets have an opportunity here to take care of business, okay? And that's what they did against the Phillies. That's what they did. They should have swept the Phillies. But the main objective was to leave Philadelphia the first 2 games with a win, and they got that done. If it wasn't for game 2, the bullpen blowing that game, they would have swept them. Because what happened? They came back to Citi Field, and the Phillies never made it back to Citizens Bank. So conceivably, the thought is, man, if we can do that one again, we're in the World Series this year. But that's a story for another day, one game at a time. But I'm just bringing it up. The Mets have put themselves in position to make history here and do some things if they take care of business, man, at home. No doubt about it. I said it too at work. Dodgers get 1 win in New York. Yeah. You would think that. They're good. They're a good team out there, man. They're good. The Dodgers are a stacked fucking team, man. There's no doubt about it. And if it wasn't for the injuries that they had to their pitching staff, there'll be even more of a problem. Let's be real. They're a good team. But you know what? So are the New York Mets. So are the New York Mets. This team, you cannot doubt this team. Never. They have shown that this year. And let me tell you something. If we would have lost tonight, it wouldn't have felt good. But there ain't no way in hell I would have counted this team out. Because every time they've been down, they have gotten right back up. And they have got it done. Every single time. They don't have a glass jaw. This team does not have a glass jaw. And that is something that we saw from them in the past. They would just bow down and go down with a whimper. Not this team. Not this team. They fight you. Mendoza switching Lindor to lead off, and he still led the team in RBI, stolen bases, hits, hit 273, and really a 30-30 season if he doesn't get hurt. Absolutely. 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 Think about what his numbers would have been if he wouldn't have missed those games. This man is the MVP, in my opinion. I don't care what anyone says, man. I don't care. Give Ohtani the Hank Aaron Award. Go worship him. Let MLB worship him. But don't forget the guys that put their absolute blood, sweat, and tears for 162 games a season playing both ends. Think about the leadership this man has shown. Okay, and it all started in the offseason. He took Vientos under the wing. Said, hey, young fella, come. Let me show you what to do. Took Brett Beatty, even though Beatty was trash and didn't make it, but he still took those young guys, Mauricio, Vientos, Beatty. Hey, guys, come with me. Come train with me. Let me work. Let me get you guys better on defense. Let's work together. And look at the jump Vientos has made as a defensive player. He's made, he was horrible as the defensive player. Now he's at least adequate to average and getting better. Getting better. The leadership you see every day that this man shows with this team. They follow him. They follow him. They follow this man. Yeah, he's the MVP. We want to end it here in New York. The umpires favor the Dodgers. Yeah, they sure was today. That first two games. nothing new there. It's crazy how that goes. Yeah, ideally you want that. I agree. Lindor's the national MVP. His leadership is off the charts. Yeah, man. It really is. And they do follow him. They follow him everywhere. As Lindor goes, the team goes. Whenever the team gets down or needs a boost, Lindor always comes up with a clutch hit or gets a rally going. He sets the tone, and when he needs to, he gets the big hit. He gets the big hit. This man is everything to the New York Mets. And and I'll say it again, for all the haters out there, and even the ones that were Met fans that were hating on this man, worth every penny. Every penny. I don't want to hear nothing about that contract no more. This man has earned every penny he's gotten. Like I said, where would we be without him? Damn sure wouldn't be in the NLCS. But all in all, man, just a great night tonight. That's going to wrap up the show tonight, man. Just a tremendous night for the New York Mets. Big win tonight. Edwin Diaz, before we go, I got to say this. I'm going to need you to calm down and attack hitters. Stop nibbling. Stop it. Just go after the hitters. Throw the fastball. Let them hit it. When you got a 3-1 or more lead, you got to get it done, man. Just stop nibbling, man. You're better than that. You're better than that. Honestly, think it's between the ears sometimes with Edwin, man. It just is. Because the stuff is there. It's just he's got to trust his stuff. He's just got to trust it. And like I said, and like I said a couple of times already, Edwin Diaz being overworked cannot be overlooked in this situation. But it's money time. It's go time. You got to suck it up. You got to get it done for your team. This is why you get paid the money you got. This is why you got paid the highest paid closer in the MLB. Got to get this done. Stop nibbling. Go after the hitters. Throw your fastball. Stop nibbling with sliders, especially against a team like the Dodgers, because they're not going to chase. When you attack the hitters, lo and behold, Edwin looks like 2022 Edwin. Let's hope we get that going forward. But all in all, just a great night for the Mets. Great night for us Met fans. They got it done. 7-3. They tied the NLCS tonight. Just an unbelievable win tonight for this New York Met team. Okay. And let's see if we get some from Severino. Game 3. Citi Field's going to be rocking. I can't wait to see it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Born for Sports. I'm out. Let's go Mets.